Jimmy K here, Metal Voice. Look at this. The Metal Voice shirts are now on sale. Just go to the video description to find out on how you can purchase one. Metal! Welcome to the Metal Voice. Today on the show. Oh yeah, here we go again. Flotsam and Jetsam in Montreal, Canada. We got Michael Gilbert, of course.
Hello.
Got AK.
Yo.
Lead vocals. Quickly, the new album, the tour. Just give me some quick summary, some notes on this.
Actually, the tour is going really good right now. Attendance is great. We've got a lot of people requesting the new songs, which I think is making the record. You know, the record's doing very well. So we can't ask for any more. We're doing 4 songs on the new tour, and we can't ask for more.
AK, End of Chaos. How's the reception so far?
It's weird. We have a lot of people actually singing every lyric with me. So people are listening to the record over and over again, obviously. So it's kind of nice.
All right, so you're headlining North American tour, which is incredible because last time around you guys were with Hammerhead. Now you're on your own, which is pretty big, right? After this, are you going to Europe?
We've got 3 European tours planned. They're each 10 days. We're out doing the festival circuit, and then at the end of it, in September, we're doing Overkill and Destruction at the same time again. So, yeah.
All right. So tell me about, okay, now this album's been out about 8 months now, I think. So I know there's a talk about a new album being recorded or at least being written. So what's going on with that, AK?
You know, these guys wrote like 40-something songs for that record.
The last one, you mean?
Yeah, for the last one. So we've got a lot of bits and pieces we can steal from for a new record. We've already got 2 or 3 songs that are good and solid that we're working on. There's no lack of music for a new record, so it should come pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah. So musical direction, Michael. Where are we going to? I mean, now we're getting the hard power metal thrash. Where are we going? Where are we going with this new record?
Okay, so Into Chaos kind of bled over into the power metal thing. I don't know how we did that, being a speed metal band, a thrash band, classified as that, but where we're going now, I think it's going to get much heavier, actually. I don't know how that's going to happen, but the new stuff that Steve and I are writing and what he's putting on it, it's going to be fucking heavy as shit.
So what can we expect in terms of a timeline? A year from now? Oh, I don't think it'll be that long. Probably close to that, but it all depends on how stupid I am when it comes to writing lyrics. How many times I have to rewrite a song, you know? So, I don't know. Like I said, we've got so much music to choose from already that it should go pretty quick.
All right, so let's deep dive now, okay? Let's really go back into the past. First album, Doomsday. Just give me the pros and cons of recording that album back then.
I was 17 years old, so it was kind of, it was the summertime, so I left high school to go do a record. Pros and cons of it. It was a big studio.
You had most of the music kind of pre-written before you went.
It was already written. That's the thing, back in those days when you would go into a 2-inch tape studio session, you had all your shit together, you did it all, and you were out. You had a certain allotted time. We don't have to do that these days, you know. We have home studios. We have 4 studios between all of us, so it's really on our time instead of the record label's time.
And what do you remember, like good and bad?
Whoa!
Knocking out those vocals, one take.
Yeah, actually, I was Superman back then. I could do everything in one take.
Were there like a lot of overdubs on the vocals? Did you have to multi-track or?
No, there was no studio time for that. 2-inch tape is very expensive, so it was hit record and go. But I remember having a lot of fun, or don't remember having a lot of fun actually. I remember Newstead ended up in jail, and a bunch of us it was just crazy times.
Why did he end up in jail?
I don't even remember. He was in West Hollywood though, jail, and we were like, we got to get him out of there now. But it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of our crew with us, a lot of our friends with us. It was the first time in a big recording studio, so we were all kind of star dazed and just like, oh, we made it, we're gonna be a big thing.
What did it cost?
It was 10 grand. It was 10,000.
20 grand today, right?
Oh, today that would have been.
Yeah, at least,
grand,
yeah.
Probably. The same stuff we used now. Yeah, it would.
That's the thing. You're on that super timeline, you know, and it's very stressful when they're saying, like, just for me, the guitar parts happen between 1:30 and 3:30 this day and this day. You got to be on your game, and you're like, I don't fucking feel like it tonight, you know, or today or whatever. So I don't know.
And a song like Hammerhead. What do you remember recording about that? Like was it just like it just happened so quickly you forgot, or?
You know, I know for myself, when these guys were all recording their parts, I was out trying to pick up on chicks and getting drunk and all that. So I don't remember any of their recordings. I just remember doing the vocal stuff in there. And Bill Metoyer was, you know.
I remember him dropping his jaw dropped. She Took an Axe, and when he did the vocal parts for that, he was just, oh my God! Like his singing is so high on it, and the pitch is perfect.
Yeah.
And it was one take.
So Jason Newsted wrote a lot of the lyrics, right? In terms of the German one, you know. I mean, what kind of flack did you get about that?
That was a weird song. We thought we'd get a lot more flack than we did. Matter of fact, before the record, every time we played that live, we would like burn a Nazi flag on stage and everything. It was so horrible. We could have burnt down so many clubs doing that stuff. But when we get to Germany and start playing that's the one song everybody's yelling for all the time. We're like, really?
Yeah.
So there's a few places that will not let us play that song.
Yeah.
But
Understandable.
yeah.
All right, so then you go, I guess you're gigging with Mercyful Fate at the time, after that album. What are your memories with King Diamond, Mercyful Fate? I mean, holy shit, we thought we had a sort of edgy song, but here comes King Diamond.
Well, you think the guy's he's going to come in and put a curse on you, and you're going to go to hell, like, within moments, but he's actually, like, one of the nicest human beings I've ever met, so.
Yeah. What about you? It was the Mercyful Fate days.
A super sweet guy. Very first time I met him, he was in his hotel room, cross-legged on the floor with candles burning around him, doing some kind of, meditation thing. And I walked in and he's like, "Oh, A.K, come on in," and he was just relaxing. He really wasn't doing what I thought he was doing, praying to Satan or something. I don't know what I thought he was doing, but he's just super sweet guy, super cool to work with. His whole band was. So.
Is it Mercyful Fate you played with first, and then later on you went tour with King Diamond on Abigail?
No, we did the whole Them tour. The King Diamond Them tour with Mickey D and Andy LaRoe and Pete Black, and it was that was a crazy tour. I remember a lot of that one. That was a great tour. We probably did 90 shows with them, I think, something like that. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. What do you remember, Mike?
I remember, I don't know if I can say everything. Really?
Oh, say it and let it out if it's not good. I don't know. Is it sexy, or is it like?
No.
Is it a mass?
I'm gonna keep it
crosses
right now. The fucking guitar players for Mercyful Fate they're fantastic.
So now we're going back to Mercyful Fate.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's like, I don't know. It's just like guitar lesson every night for me. So I watched them every night.
All right. And what about Armored Saint? Do you remember those days touring with them?
We actually played one of the first big bands we opened up for before we had a record out was Armored Saint. And I've been pretty good friends with John Bush ever since, so that was kind of cool.
Mike, any memories?
Armored Saint. Actually, that was a Dogs when Flotsam first started. Yeah, when Flotsam first started, I actually went to an Armored Saint show when they were playing with them, and that's one of the days when I was like, I want to be in this band. That was pre-Flotsam for me.
What about No Place For Disgrace? Going back in time, we're just going to cover this album. What do you remember? What was it like in the studio? The pros, the cons, just like the first album. Now you got your second album. They're working on a little more experience, maybe a little more money, I guess.
Yeah, a lot more money. We had Elektra Records giving us a bunch of cash to do that one. Huge big-time producer Michael Wagner came in to do it. Bill Metoyer did the engineering on it, and it's very overwhelming, like how all these people and the record label and stuff is is working to try to make this thing, you know, big, you know. And when Michael Wagner walks into a room, you're kind of like, fuck, oh my God, the guy's an icon, you know. So pros and cons of it. The pros is you get Michael Wagner. Cons of it, again, you know, you're on that timeline, the studio timeline, which is crazy. You know, you're under the gun, you're under the red light fever is what that is, you know.
What do you remember?
I remember it being a little more comfortable because it was our second one with Metoyer, and he's just the sweetest guy on the planet. So it was a little more comfortable working with him. So we got a little better performance out of us because he knew how to deal with us and how to manipulate us, you know, and he knew how to piss me off to get the right, you know, tone out of my voice and all that stuff.
How many vocal takes?
Yeah, it was still pretty much one take Superman stuff back then.
Was the material already prearranged, ready to go?
Pretty close. I mean, there's a few things we changed here and there, but most of it was ready to go before we even hit the studio.
And of course, when you fast forward, you guys re-recorded the album. Why did you? Is it because you wanted control of the music? And actually, I like the re-recorded version of it a lot better, actually. I just find it just more intense and a better production. So what was the rationale behind that?
Exactly that. The production, try to make it a little more intense and bring it a little more forward sonically for the fans, you know.
When you look back, do you think it was the right decision?
Well, we also thought that we could take the original recording and put it through, you know, a new time production and see if we can't beef it up. But Elektra Records at that point had been bought and sold so many times, we went to go ask them for the masters, and they're like, Flotsam, who? What are you talking about? So, you know, we're asking lawyers, what can we do? You know, and it's like, just re-record the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
And we really loved re-recording that song. Revisiting that whole era of Recording No Place was really awesome.
And when the storm comes, right? You guys are planning to redo that? I know you told me that in California.
I want a remix of that.
Remix or re-recording?
Not a re-recording. I think a remix of that. Because I'm happy with the performances and everything. I just think it needs a TLC for sure.
All right. So in terms of now you're going on tour for No Place For Disgrace. I think you had Megadeth, Exciter, Riot, Autograph, were all the bands you were sort of like jumping from tour to tour. What was it like with Megadeth? And this was probably, what album was this?
Peace Sells.
Was it Peace Sells?
Yeah.
Peace Sells.
So what was that tour like?
That was a crazy tour. It's weird walking out onto a stage in front of 9,000 people. You know, like early as it was in our career, 9,000 people is like, that's a lot of people, you know. It's just pretty surreal. And then to see Dave Mustaine walking around stage, you know, it's like, it was just fucking cool, man.
Was it okay working with Dave? Was he a cool guy?
Yeah, Dave's hit and miss. I remember when we opened up for them in our hometown, and I was messing with Dave backstage before the show, and he got up on stage and gave everyone my address and told them that's where the party is after the show. There was 3,000 people at my house. And me and Dave are locked in my bedroom, and there's people pounding on the doors, 3,000 people tearing my house apart because Dave's just like, I got you. I'm like, thanks, man.
Dave Elfson, good guy?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
I just did a song on his new solo project with him.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been good friends with Elfson for a long time.
Yeah, I met Dave many times, and he's just a wonderful person to interview, to talk to, and just overall good person.
Yep.
So any last words? We covered a little bit of history. Next time we see you guys, we'll cover a little bit more history.
Right.
So anyways, Flotsam and Jetsam on tour in North America. New album, End of Chaos, and that monster reminds me of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know that monster? The ice monster? Actually, I really like
the Abominable.
The Abominable.
Yes.
Are you getting a lot of that?
No, not really, but I can see it. I can see it.
Whose idea was it for the cover?
The fans, actually.
I like it.
Because they want the lizard back. Everybody wants the lizard to come back. So.
It's like a three-dimensional lizard. All right, guys. Michael Gilbert, A.K. Flotsam and Jetsam.
Thank you.